Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale. How you guys doing? Welcome to the video. I am in a great mood today. We have Emmanuel for the first time here on the channel. This dude plays Witch Top Ladder, a very, very effective, very powerful witch deck that I think you guys are really going to enjoy and have some success with. And it is also a graveyard deck, so I can play it. I'm still committed to my 1 year, one deck, and I have to say, it feels like I'm getting better at graveyard. It feels like I'm getting better at splash yard. I am playing this version of the deck still. I'm just trying to master old school splash yard, and then I can kind of move on from there. But I wanted to share Manuel's deck with you guys because, again, very, very, very strong deck, if I can pull it up here. Very strong deck, uses Witch, which we're not used to seeing outside of this meta right now, on top ladder, and he's currently number 2 in the world. So we have some of his replays here. I want to start out with a replay or two, and then I want to jump into the arena and give this deck a try as well. Let's go first against Sandbox, who was number 1. He's still number 1. So beating the number 1 player, dude, Cal, Sandbox is just absolutely destroying right now. I feel like he's always number 1 ladder, and he's using this deck. I would love to get him on the channel too, by the way. If anybody has any contacts with him, I haven't been able to get in touch with him. Either way, here we go. He's playing this deck, the Mega Knight Ram Rider. This deck, I feel like, is everywhere. It just won't die. Has the Archer Queen in it. I shared this deck starting, I think, last month, maybe even 2 months ago now. Time flies when there's no balance changes. At least to me it does. Anyway, here we go. It's going to be Dark Prince in the back here, starting off by Manuel. I really want to see how he plays this deck in terms of how aggressive he is with Graveyard, how and when he's playing the Witch. Is he just using her to bait spells, or is he using her in kind of a beatdown fashion as well? Is he trying to extract a lot of value off of her on defense? I just want to see how he uses specifically those cards. But first, let's see what he does here. He's going to wait for the Mega Knight to make contact. Then he's going to surround with the Skarmy. Now, Snowball does come down. We go in with the Graveyard as well. Look at the hand of Sandbox right now. Really not a lot of options here. He's going to lose his tower. We're going to tower trade. It all worked out there. Got to be careful, though, man. This deck has absolutely killed me on a number of occasions. Both decks. The deck that we're playing and the deck that we're going against here, right? By the way, guys, I'm happy to share, excuse me if I can speak. I'm at 100% health. I am feeling great. You know, I had a full week of quarantine, a week and a half or so of quarantine when I had COVID. Now I'm feeling great. This was the last weekend that I was able to actually leave my house and just enjoy life a little bit. I disconnected from social media, from everything, from online. I barely even played any Clash Royale, any other games or anything like that, and just spent time with friends and family. I took my son to a trampoline park. I just tweeted this out actually the other day. You guys can see some pictures. We just having a blast, you know, so it feels so good to be back. And, you know, just feeling some positivity. So, let's see what we can do here. Looks like a 3 crown, right? Graveyard on the King Tower. Snowball comes down, but it's going to be too little too late. The opponent there just made the decision to go all in with a Ram Rider and Mega Knight, and we were able to basically 3 crown them before they were able to 3 crown us. So sometimes that is the, you know, the tale as old as time in Clash Royale. Let's watch this one. No. I want to watch the one against this dude. I believe he's playing Elixir Golem. I want to see how Electro Giant. There we go, Ash. I want to see how we handle this matchup here. Once you have a tower down, either Princess Tower. Once you have a tower down, this is probably the strongest deck inside the entire game to play with a tower advantage. It's very easy to take that second tower down using the maneuver that we just saw, right? Basically a giant in the pocket with Graveyard, with Skarmy, almost impossible to defend unless you have the perfect counter in hand. And, you know, that's difficult to orchestrate, always having the perfect counters in hand. So here we go, taking advantage of the charging Dark Prince here, putting a giant right in front of it. And here comes the same exact push, actually, from us, right, to the opponent. So you can see they have a Queen version, very different deck, but it looks like, again, we're prepared to tower trade here. We have an E-Giant and a Dark Prince in the left for the opponent, and we have a Giant in the Dark Prince taking down the deck for us. We play a Witch in the back here. We'll dispose of the Electro Giant before he gets, well, You still got a lot of HP off the tower there. Nonetheless, again, Manuel, at the top of your screen there, I said giant. I meant electro giant, obviously, earlier, you know, in terms of what took down our tower. So here we go. The queen ability is used here, which will do a lot of damage, which actually performs really well against the archer queen, which is nice. Skeletons in general, Skarmy, Witch, do a good job really enveloping the queen, even with her ability. She does not perform very well against Tombstone, Skarmy, you name it, the swarm troops, right? So speaking of swarm troops, we go with the Skarmy in the pocket there, just getting rid of that cage from the opponent. So they go with the Dark Prince in the right, we go with Dark Prince in the left, our right, their left, from our perspective. Here we go again. After this match, then I'm going to play a match with the deck, and then I'm going to show you another replay after that, so stay tuned. Here we go. It's going to be Dark Prince making contact with our right tower. We're going to ignore that and go right in with the giant. Cage is in the opponent's hand. We also go with that graveyard, and boy, are we getting a lot of damage. Wow, tower is going to be down just like that, guys. Just did a good job of getting that cage out of cycle. By the time it was back in cycle, they were too short on elixir. They had to cycle back to it again, but weren't able to defend against that graveyard. So again here, making it look pretty easy. Now we have both towers down. All we need to do is stop this final Electro Giant push. Easier said than done considering he does have lightning, but we decided to just go in here. We go with the giant, we go with the graveyard again. Skeletons down from the opponent. Cage to pull that giant away. Why did we go with the graveyard giant there, guys? Pretty simple, right? We wanted to stop them from building a monumental E-Giant push, right? Instead, we play a little bit of defense through offense, and by the time that E-Giant hits our side of the arena, he's almost empty in terms of his overall HP. So a bomber comes in the pocket. Nice job of not reacting immediately with that Skarmy. Instead, we go with the arrows. Skarmy, surprisingly, actually does a pretty good job against Electro Giants. There it goes. Our tower is down. NATO comes through and pulls our giant away. We do have a Witch. We do have a Skarmy on the board as well. And, of course, the giant with a few skeletons left over from that graveyard. Here we go, trying to dispose of the bomber. Arrows come down, and boom, there it goes. 3 crown. Man, Manuel pretty good with this deck. Makes it look really easy, too. Let's go ahead and jump into an arena match with the deck ourselves. Here we go here, guys. So, obviously, starting things pretty passive, and just trying to go in from there. So here we go, first match. All right, good luck, fair. So we have Witch, Arrows, Bats, and Graveyard, and they just zap our tower to start things out here. So I really don't want to, you know, cycle arrows like a zap spell. Oh. All right, let's see what spell he has here in this Elixir Golem deck. Witch does really well against Elixir Golem. Gonna have to be careful of the... I'm gonna try to sneak this in here. We will take the arrow value. I think I'm just going to snowball as well. Try to dispose of those E-barbs. He goes with the Inferno Dragon. Kind of a little bit bad there, Ash, with the Skarmy. It did get a zap out of his hand, though, so I shouldn't have any difficulties defending here, which is so good against the Inferno Dragon, as you guys can see here. Skeleton's doing a good job distracting there. I'm actually going to go in with a Giant. Just want to see what he has here on defense, and I felt like he went really aggressive there with the Elite Barbarians, everything like that. He goes with arrows. We're going to try to punish immediately with the Bats. Let's try to get that E-Drag turned around there momentarily. Okay, this is looking really good. We don't even have to respond to the Electro Dragon, and we do take that tower down. So now we can just kind of chill and defend, right? If the opponent gets aggressive again, though, we're not going to be afraid to go after their tower, right? Obviously. I'm going to leak here, guys. Go Dark Prince in the left. I want to leak because this guy could go E-Barbs, obviously. Okay, there's that Battle Healer. We're going to go ahead and try to sneak that Skarmy in. And then just do a Witch in the back. As much damage as possible there to the Elixir, whatever that card is. There we go. All right, I'm going to Graveyard on defense here, guys. That way we don't have to worry about any of this crap that he's throwing at me here in the lane. He arrows, I arrow. Going to Dark Prince a little bit over here. Going to Skarmy down again. He has no arrows back in cycle. This should be pretty easy defense, dude. Witch has things on lockdown here. So we're going to go with another Witch, and we're going to use the big fella, a Giant, to tank. And that's it, man. So again, we kind of had the hunch that he might go super, super aggressive, and that's exactly what he did there. we're going to go ahead and attack here with a Dark Prince in a Graveyard. And again, similar to what we did last time, we're just going to keep the momentum up here. Force out a Zap on defense. There's only 14, 13 seconds remaining. We're going to go with a Witch here again, recoup some Elixir. Things are going to be over here. And boy, oh boy, is this deck very, very good. Very effective, especially against a deck like this as well. We'll give him the good game. And there we go. GG's. Pretty easy deck to pick up and have some success with. It's not, you know, brain surgery that we're doing here for this deck, right? That being said, obviously, I'm really pushing for a new PB this season, too. I need to push a little bit more, but it shouldn't be that hard with Graveyard. I mean, like, I've been practicing for a long time now, right? So anyway, guys, here we go. Let's go ahead and watch one more here. You know what? Yeah, let's watch one more. Let's watch this one. I was going to say, maybe I'll play one more, but I do want to watch against this deck in particular. He has Valkyrie. He has Bomb Tower, so pretty good counter deck to what we're throwing at him. Again, we're watching from the vantage point of the opponent here. So, starting off with the Dark Prince, he goes with Valkyrie. We have our Witch selected. You can always glean a lot of information strategically about what cards the pro that we feature here on the channel has selected at any given time. Gives you good insight to where their head is at, right? So, Witch is so strong, man. It's crazy to say that, because Witch has never been that crazy in the game. You know, maybe low ladder, maybe mid ladder, but never, you know, top ladder. So here we go. We're going to go ahead and play Bats here. Bats really key in this deck as well. We haven't spoken about them, but they're great for bait, right? Bait out a Zap, bait out a Spell, and then attack with the Skarmy and the Graveyard. Nice synergy between the Skarmy, the Witch, the Graveyard, the Bats. You know, we're either commanding the opponent to use a big spell against the Witch, a poison, for example, opens us up to play a Graveyard, or obviously same thing with the Skarmy and the Bats, getting little spells out. So a little bit of double bait action going on inside this deck. Here we go. It's going to be a Miner attacking our tower. Valkyrie is going to get to our tower. You always hate to see that, man. The good news is we score a lot of damage just vis-a-vis the Skarmy on the opponent's side of the arena. However, that Miner's just going ham on the tower. The one little bat who could, stopping him and mitigating some of the damage. Otherwise, probably going to get an extra 2 or so hits out of that Miner had that one bat not survived. So here we go, guys. Elixir is full. We go Giant right there at the bridge, and we go with the Graveyard. So the Giant is going to aggro onto the Bomb Tower there. Nicely done, nicely done. The Valkyrie is not going to be enough. We get nice RNG there. Notice the positioning also of the Graveyard. If you know the opponent has Valkyrie, and you're a Graveyard player, and you know the Valkyrie is in hand, you're better off using an unorthodox Graveyard placement, right? Not going with the typical Graveyard where, you know, we're basically stationing it so the majority is on one side of the tower, just hugging the other side. It's better off to leave a little bit more room on the other side of the tower. That way, RNG will benefit you greater, and the opponent can't just plop down a Valkyrie. Now, of course, having any of the Graveyard envelop one side of the tower is going to be fine, and obviously having a Valkyrie in log in cycle, if they do like last time, they should be able to mitigate most damage. However, here we go again. They go with arrows. They have to go with awkward wall breakers there to try to stop some of that damage.
Professor, what should I do?
But it does not help here, and with only, what, 15 seconds left on the clock, all we have to do is kind of cycle there, stop the Miner, we cycle Bats, we cycle Skarmy on their side of the arena, and there it is. That's going to be GG's, guys. I want to play one more match with this deck before we let you go here today. Let's go for it. Let's go for it here. The battle for maybe 6,200 trophies. All right, we'll give him the good luck. We'll give him the Inferno Tower, and let's see what Scott... Only took us about 100, minutes, but we figured it out. This guy just cycles a fireball at me, man. I'm going to hover Graveyard here, and I'm going to use it. Going to have a snowball at the ready. Get those Bats out of there. Get a little bit of damage. Of course, he has Wizard. We do finish off the mini P.E.K.K.A, though, so that's okay. What I'm probably going to do here is get a Giant. I felt like he had to use a lot of Elixir there. So we're going to turn this Wizard around with the Giant. Hey, at least we get the Zap out of his hand. We respond to the Wizard, and now we know that he has Inferno Tower. So he has Fireball back in cycle as well. Trying to get a sense for what this dude's playing, right? Just going to go ahead and Dark Prince in the back here. See what he does. I would love for him to fireball, you know. But he's not going to. We will play a pretty high Witch here. He does have fireball, but I do want to support this Dark Prince. Get something out of his hand. I can't attack here because I don't have... Gonna finish off the Wizard. Because he has Zap in hand, and look at my hand right now, right? Alright, we're gonna go in here with a Giant again. He's gonna Zap that, I think. Yep. Okay, so we're gonna go in Skarmy. Because he has the Inferno Tower. And we're just gonna snowball this. And we don't end up scoring any damage. Just hoping that Skarmy, not the best placement there, right? We'll get a fireball out of his hand here. It is our strong side tower. Gonna go Dark Prince Bats immediately there. And he wastes the Zap when I had Skarmy in hand. That's why I say waste. However, I'm not able to sneak this Giant in front here. Nice Wizard placement. Gonna have to just use a Giant here, unfortunately. Hate to give him all that value, but didn't have a good response to the Wizard. Alright, let's go in here, guys. Gonna put Bats over here just in case. Ah, man. He does Zap, but we weren't able to really prevent it. So now he has Zap out of Cycle. I'm gonna have to Giant Kite here. You can see how with this deck, you are stuck sometimes in weird situations in terms of cycles, right? Okay. Gonna go in with a Graveyard here. Arrows. Oh, man, those arrows felt like they took forever! We will get some damage, though. Not as much as we wanted. We do kill the Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is always great, right? Let's go with a Dark Prince in the left here. Bats first. Snowball. I want him to Zap here. And he's not zapping. Wizard's out of hand. I gave him a lot of damage. Gonna go in with a Graveyard here, guys. Gonna Arrow for the Skarmy. Ah, he doesn't do it. He doesn't Bats or Skarmy right away. It go! It cost him. It cost him. I knew he was sitting on Bats and Skarmy. What was he going to play after he played the Inferno Tower on the Giant? But it ended up working out for me. He didn't have a good response there. He used all of his elixir on the Inferno Tower. And what do you know? We hit 6,200 this video. Let's go for 6,700 this season. For me, that would be good. I know I'm no pro, but either way, I hope you enjoyed the video. Big shout out to Manuel, guys. Give him a follow on Twitter. His information, including his stats and player profile, thanks to statsroyale.com. They're planning some exciting stuff over at Stats Royale as well. So check out their information in the description below. I don't think I can tease it just yet, but pretty soon, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.